This time I have got the models that we will be making today right here in the frame. Hi guys, my name is Mithilesh and this is Novice Papercraft tutorial. This is like a series that I'm making now because everybody wants me to do it. So let's continue. So this is going to be a second video in the series. Before that, we have one video on the channel which is Beginner's Papercraft tutorial. And in that video, we have made two characters, these two, Hello Kitty and Steve. A lot of people have not understood why did I make two models. So I'll explain in this video and we will be continuing the format. So it's important that you guys understand why I'm doing this. So these two models you see, they cover two aspects of papercraft. One is anime figures or basically any figure you want. Now these figures have no hard lines. They are organic, they need smooth surfaces. In this section, in this like area of paper crafting, you will be making characters with humanistic characteristics, like humans don't have any sharp hard lines as such. So this is that, and this is mechanical aspect of paper crafting, basically uh, cars, robots, tanks, ships, etc., etc. In this we make sharp geometrical shapes with hard lines and bunch of moving elements to it. And we will be continuing this format of making two models in this video as well, but for the convenience I have decided to split this video in two parts. So the intro you're seeing right now is part 1 and there will be part 2 of this video, and at the end of the part 2 we will see the details close-up shots of these models. Now unlike these two models which do not come with any kind of instruction manuals as such, because they are so simple that you can just look at the template and understand what goes where, these two models that we have here are a bit more complicated and they do come with instruction manuals. After doing a lot of research, I have picked these two. So first model we will be making is the most wanted BMW M3 GTR. This is the mechanical aspect of paper crafting that I'm talking about. For this model, I have used thicker paper, 250 GSM, and this has all the lines very sharp. It's all mechanical, geometrical, and this is like a shell. It's completely empty inside. So we cover mechanical aspect of paper crafting with this model. And for organic model where we make a human figure, we will be making Batman from the animated series. And this Batman was voiced by Kevin Conroy. I have grown up watching this, and this model is from Ninja Toes, and this model is from paperreplica.com. Both these models are free and their instruction manual is on their website already. So this video is not like I will be explaining every step, because they do come with the instruction manual. The point of this video is to understand and to get along with the manual and develop the crafting skills that we would require for the future projects that we might take upon after this. Because if you like F1 cars and stuff, those mechanical paper models have a lot of tiny details. You know, they can drain you out if you are not mentally prepared for it. And this model has only two or three parts where you need a lot of detailing. Like the smallest thing this car has is the side mirrors, and in this model it's important that you get side mirrors symmetrical, right? Otherwise the car won't look that great. And there are repetitive parts like wheels. You have to make wheels 4 times, and you have to also reinforce the base like what I have done here. And with the Batman, you have to learn to make organic shape, no hard lines like the car. It's all smooth, human figure like. And along with that, we will be making these sharp points. If you are planning to make anime characters in the future, you see these pointed parts, those anime characters are gonna have by default tens of these parts just for the hair. Just to get a basic anime character, you have to make like tens of those pointy hairs, and then maintain the structure of their head also, because likeness of that character has to come in the craft, otherwise they're gonna look very weird than how they appear in the show. I'm going to continue the video from here, and in this part 1 we will be making the car, and in part 2 we will be making the Batman. And I'll see you guys in the end of the part 2, where we will take a close look at our finished model after you guys have gone through the entire video and understood how I have achieved what you see here. And I'll talk to you guys then. See you. Okay, so I am back from the stationery and I've got all my supplies. Let me show you. These are the tools that I bought, and this is the paper that I have got. So this card is printed of 250 GSM thick paper. It has shine. See, you can hear it, 250 GSM. And the Batman is printed on 120 GSM regular matte finish paper. So it has little bit of shine, but not as prominent as this or the photo finish paper we saw earlier. So that is there. Now let's take a look at the tools that we will need. In the last video we used these three tools, and the problem I am facing with my cutter is that it has already rusted. So I'm gonna discard it. I don't want this on my white car to, like, sometimes you cut and the rust gets stuck and then you glue it, and later on after 2 days you are just appreciating your model and you see some dirty marks on it, and turns out it's the rust from the blade. Let me show you. So this tiny 5 centimeter Gundam has those. Can you see the rust marks? See? And let's avoid it. Let's learn. Everybody should learn from my mistakes. So I'm gonna go with this one. This we saw. Just make sure to be careful with this one. It's not safe. It rolls off, and it can roll off your slanted table and just like come down and get in your feet or something. Be careful. This is very dangerous. Apart from it, there are a bunch of tools that we're gonna use. Is different sized sticks to roll the paper whenever needed. There are 4 different sizes. And then I'm gonna use these two tools. This is a sculpting tool. You just need something to put the glue like this on the tabs. So I'm using this one. You can use anything that works for you. In the last video we have used toothpick. It doesn't really matter. And for scoring I'm using this is a embossing tool. uh, you can simply use anything that is pointy and soft in terms of you don't want something like a metal, because they can scrap the paper. Compared to metal, wood is softer, so all the tiny fibers and nubs won't hurt the paper. So this is soft compared to metal, so you can use this too, it doesn't matter. And apart from it, I have been to a women's beauty supply store, because that's where you get tweezers. I have got two tweezers. This it's called cuticle cutter. It's just flat head tweezer. I'm here to open it, and this is a pointed tweezer. It's a tweezer. You would need this one when you are making fingers of the Batman. Okay, because like the hand would be this tiny and you can't roll it and hold it, and even if you do, you're going to leave a lot of glue marks all over the fingers. Instead you can just like hold your the tiny fingers with this and glue them together and then let them dry. It's great. And then for the Batman particularly, you would need a full sketch pen or marker, because there we have to color the cape of the Batman from the back side and then nub marks. And just all in all, you would need sketch pens. Get any sketch pen, don't get watercolors, because once when you are applying the glue, the watercolors which have dried up obviously will again capture the moisture from the glue and seep into the paper, leaving ugly marks. Instead, get alcohol based ink markers like a sketch pen or something. You can smell the alcohol and poof. So what happens is these have pigment mixed with alcohol, and when you apply them, alcohol just like vaporizes, leaving behind the ink, and that's great for paper crafting. So now that we have got everything with us, I'm gonna put the camera here and project this area, and we're gonna cut the car out. Okay, see you guys. Alright, so I have got the templates here, but before I get into any cutting, I'm just gonna visit the web page again, to make sure that I don't miss out on any hidden folds or something. So I am just gonna go through it and run it in my mind as if which part goes where. And so far everything seems all right. The car is mechanical and every crease needs to be done. Yeah, I'm pretty confident about where I want to put creases and stuff. Smooth. Okay. Now that I've seen it, I'm gonna cut this. This is gonna be the part. It says it's gonna be 28 centimeters tall. Not tall, length. You guys can see the paper. Yeah, it's gonna look nice once it's done. Side of the car. Okay, so I'm gonna cut these all and then we'll continue. So you want to get your creases done with this tool first, like so. And once you're done that, you're going to get your cutting blade and then remove the piece out. And you're going to store them in a container until you're done with all the pieces. All right. All right. So I have cut one entire sheet and the parts are off. Now what I am going to do is take a box like this and place a flat piece of paper on it, and I'm gonna put all my parts from one sheet in here, and I'm gonna and then I'm gonna put another sheet on top of it, and then the next sheet that I will cut will go here, then another blank sheet, then another piece on top of it. So we have all the pieces separated, so when we get to assemble them, we won't have to spend time figuring out which part was on what sheet. Okay, let's continue. And putting it in a box, just to be sure. This is a recycled laptop box. You can have any box. The box can be as small as half of this big, as long as the biggest part from the sheet fits in it. Like this is the biggest part, I believe. It has to be flat. So find yourself a box like this. This is second day. I have cut all the pieces. Sorry for the noise. This is early morning and there's construction site next to my house. This is the last part that I'm cutting, and I have a bunch of things to show you which are related to the next step. Every time you use the cutter, make sure to just put the sleeve on. Whenever you cut the part, put this number on the back side like this, and like I showed you, this is where I've kept all my parts. They are all stacked on top of each other. Each sheet is kept on one sheet. Then I put a blank sheet on top, and then I close the box. Now that we have cut all the pieces, we're gonna be folding them, and before or while folding them, we're gonna color the edges. I have got my sketch pens here, and I just want to show you the difference between colored edge and non-colored edge. Okay, so I hope you guys can see this edge is colored and this is non-colored. So imagine when two parts of the same color overlap, they leave behind this white line. Every time there's light on it, it's gonna reflect, and when you color them, see, they merge beautifully. So you wanna take the sketch pen, whatever tool, and just do this to all the sides. That's about it. That's it. So while we fold all the sheets, we're gonna do this. So just wanted to show you all the parts are stacked on top of each sheet like this. Please be organized, because what happens is sometime you take gap of few days in between builds, and once you are back you never know which part is where. So make sure to write the numbers underneath every part and keep them organized and somewhere safe like this. Alright, so now what I have done is I've got all the parts that need reinforcement out, and I'm gonna do is I'm gonna take this part, take a paper that I need to recycle. Like I have this leftover paper, white paper from the previous build, and I'm gonna do is I'm gonna use pencil to mark the parts out like so. Like this part I marked here, this part here, and the spoiler is here. Then I'm gonna cut these out and paste them on the back side of these parts, and I'm gonna do it until I have desired thickness that I can measure with the tape. When you put reinforcement in paper, the quality of reinforcement material doesn't matter because these parts won't be visible at all. Like once the car is finished, these parts will be underneath the hood, giving car the structural support it needs. So they can be any paper, any color whatsoever, it doesn't matter. Also, when you glue these parts, do not cover entire piece with the glue because that will make the paper moist, and then you have waves going on. Because see, these paper, all the paper basically have cotton and lint in it that gathers moisture and then they lose the shape. So what you do is you put four tiny dots of glue and then paste it, so you don't have the wrinkly effect. And you can see this is already 1 mm. I have glued these parts. Now all these part, they're all gonna go inside the car, so their finish doesn't matter. But this is spoiler, and right now I am having a problem with the shadow. Let me zoom in. Okay, can you guys see? The edge has bunch of shadows. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna just cut tiny bit of it off with my cutter, and since we have not completely layered it with glue from within, it should come off just like regular. See, this is the first sheet, this is second, and this is third. You see, they all are of different thickness. That's why it was casting shadow, and now it is much cleaner. Look, it's cleaner. The spoiler is going to be visible from both front and back side, so it's important for me that I get the finish right, and I'm going to get this similar good finish with these parts too. So my spoiler is going to look way better than these parts. For the base, what I am doing is I have removed the flap, and before removing the flap, I have marked the position of these two with the pencil. Now the instructions tell you to reinforce this with 2 mm sheet. That will, in my opinion, make model very heavy at the bottom. I personally don't want to do this. So I've got another thin sheet. What I'm going to do is I have made marking with the pencil. I'm going to glue this one here now, so that way the center is stiffer, and I've cut one more sheet like this and I have folded it to be a beam. This is called a column. I've made this column and I'm going to glue it like this. That way I won't have 2 mm sheet thickness ka weight to my model, but it will have the sturdiness to the base because of this. And then these parts will be here like this, and in the back to that it will be like this, and it won't interfere with my column. So this is the plan. So I've glued these parts, and I have put this beam in the center, pretty sturdy. Now what we're gonna do is we're gonna account for this slanting part. So once it comes here, the whole base needs to go up like this, up. So this part beyond this line, this needs to go up. And to do that, what I'm gonna do is, you see this pencil marking, I'm gonna cut this tiny triangle out so this can actually bend up. Okay, this is done. You can see it's gonna go up a little. So I'm just gonna check if the angle matches, and I can't tell like this. I have to place it. Yeah, it does. It's a great job. So I am gonna do is I'm gonna take another strip of paper and glue it like this. Okay. This is done. The elevation is achieved. The bridge is glued and all the parts are together. Now I'm going to keep this aside and start assembling the main body of the car. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to visualize the primary set of things that going to go together. So I am following what I've seen on the website, and this is the lineup. So I'm just going to virtually see this goes up, this goes here, and then the front windscreen, the whole and side of the car. I'm gonna close the entire backside with this part. So once this goes here, we will have the tail of the car. Then we can ascend down from here and keep on going from here. So once we have the roof in place, we will have so many tabs to glue on with the side. And once I have the side in place, I can put this one. Since there are no tabs on this side, I'll put this one here, like, and here and here. And once that is done, I will close the front of the car. So this would be my process. Let's take our tools out, like this one and the flat tweezer, and start folding the pieces. This is how I fold, just enough to get the angle that we required, right? You see, since the this paper is very thick, it's not moving at all. It's better to use tool to make sure all the creases are flat and there's no wiggly lines, because the pressure point on finger was different with each press, like that. I'm gonna repeat this process to everything, and then wherever we have pieces that are gonna go curve, there's gonna be curve, like this will be at least this much curve. I am gonna use the roller to gently press it. I'll do it like this. There's no, like that, and it has little bit of curve. Also, as I am folding them, I am simultaneously covering the seam lines with the sketch pen, like that. And I've noticed a tiny bit of error in the design. So if you see the back screen, there is a graphic overlay. Do you see this tiny pointer? This, where the graphic of the car is actually going over the windscreen. I am gonna fix it with the sketch pen. That's about it. Because the artist must have uh, made a little bit of mess with the layers. That's fine. Mm, looks good. I was about to start the gluing the windscreen on the back, and I'm doing this part later, the tail part later. And what came to my understanding is that these lines, they are to be creased, and once we do that, we get a new face on the windscreen. So I did not put crease here before. I just did it, and when I did it, I learned that this flap was tad bit too big and was coming here, so it wasn't like perfectly sitting there. So I just cut it off. Reason why I'm adding this in the video is to let you know that these flaps are computer generated. They are of one size by default. You can see they all are one size by default, and the designer has to manually go and edit them out, and not every time they do it. So they could be not exactly aligned with every single face. So if you come across such problem, don't hesitate to cut the flap, because even if you mess it up, you can always add one extra piece. Like, let's assume that you by mistake cut the flap here, you can always add a piece of paper from the backside and then attach your piece on top of it, creating a seamless line. So don't worry, don't hesitate to edit your model out here and there. So now that I've glued the first two pieces together, this is gonna be the next piece. And here I am seeing the possibility of white lines. So what I'm gonna do is I will take the needed color, in this case the blue, and just apply some here. So even if I make mistake of few it wouldn't look as bad. Now we can alcohol markers. Sketch pens are quick drying. So now even if I make a tiny bit of mistake, it wouldn't be that significant because there are no white lines. I am gonna go with the door. Firstly, I'll glue the. Why am I not even in the frame? Ah, let me re angle the camera. Damn, the car is just too big to fit in the frame. Okay, so now that I have glued the roof too, I am gonna go with the door. And how I'm gonna do is I will glue the roof here first, and then one, two, three, four, five, like that. And one thing I realized is there's one tiny stray tab, and when I check it with the windscreen, the thing is that windscreen is just this one tab. That means this tab is where the geometry changes here. So there's one angle, then second. That means this needs to bend a little, otherwise it will create a gap there. So what I'm gonna do with the roof is I'm gonna take this roller, not this one. I'll take the tiny one, like this one, thinner one, and create space for the tiny stray tab, like so. It's not much, but once we join it together, it will make the difference it needs to. Okay, this should do it. And now this weird line that has come, I'll get rid of it with the help of this. I just need to bend the paper a little bit so it like smoothly gradually disappears and not make big highlights and shadows at the top. This needs to look flat. Okay, I'll glue them now. Okay, here's the result of all the extra efforts we put into this. So it is going down as we expected it to, and the roof is looking all right. It's just a shell, there's no inner structure. Interesting. So this is the first time I'm building a car, so I have no idea what to expect. Now comes the front windscreen. The tabs on the windscreen are already painted, and so are the edges. My approach would be attaching this side first, and then I'll attach the other side second, and then the curve that windscreen generates like this. Then I'll put glue to these tabs, and I'll close them from beneath like this. I have attached the bonnet. We're gonna be closing the front completely, and this is how I'm gonna do it. So you see this one, this is the tab that needs to go down. So I'll glue these first, then these second, then on these tabs I'll glue this first and this second because there's tab here. and below that I'll close this one first, and then it has a tabs and this one second. And before I do that, it is sort of forming a curve in the front. So again, I'm gonna take the stick and roll these guys up before gluing them, and then we will have almost all the shell done, only the backside remaining. I am onto the last closing tab of the front of the car. Once this is done, we can move on to closing the tail parts. Then again for a second, then align the next one, and finally the last one. You see, this is thicker paper, 250 GSM. You can see there's like tiny line where it was supposed to connect, but paper is so thick. By the time it goes on top of other layer and come here, you have this gap. This is what you need to consider while choosing paper, especially if you are choosing thicker paper. This problem would have not occurred if I were to use 120 GSM. And I guess that is it. It's so weird to look at a Beamer without the grills. This is second day of me building it, and backside is what I enjoyed the most. Okay, so we are here, and according to the manual, we have covered first four images. So first four images is this, the shell of the car. And now we will be adding details starting with the bonnet. So I just made the grills, and we are supposed to use these parts on the back side, 34 and 36 as per the instructions, but instead I just put three pieces of paper, like just cut three pieces and put. uh, this is the cleanest part of the entire build because there are no flaps, so they are not overlapping. They are just all these three pieces are just sitting flat, like you can not cast shadows whatsoever. So this is gonna go here now, and I also put this top part. Okay, now that I have finished the bumper, I am looking at these two parts, and what I noticed is they have pretty sharp edge right here. So I'm gonna cut the flaps, so when I glue them they form the sharp angle just like this one. This is how it is looking right now. I have glued these two first, and then this one, and there are only four tabs here, so you are supposed to put this one first, then these two second, and this one third. First to third, this is done. This much is done. Now the rim cover mud guards. This part I am here right now. When you modify a car to have a larger wheelbase, you have to extend the mud guard onto it. So this is what I am doing. First, scoring all the paper. Next, coloring all the edges. Post that, gluing it together like this, and then putting it on the car like so. This is the mirror, and I am on to second one. This is basically a sandwich piece, and all I have to do is glue this part and close this, then we'll have both the mirrors. So now I'm on to the tires. What I'm gonna do is I'm gonna make sure this paper is round, but this. Once you do that, you wanna bend these one by one each like so. Then you have a piece that looks like this. One side done. Then I am gonna hold the disc part and check if it comes all the way here, because no matter how well you cut it, the thickness of the paper, or how well you cut this one inner part, it depends on those factors. So it seems like it will do it. Now that I have checked, I'll close this. So we are almost done with the car, and I was attaching these mud guards that go here, and this is what I realized. So this side is completely flat, and when you put this on, do you see the gap? That gap right there. So to fill the gap, you need the car body to come forward like this. This part needs to come towards me this way. Then only this gap will be filled. So what my plan is to take this and hold it underneath like here and roll it and get it round. I have done this on the other side. You can see the difference. This is flat and this is slightly round and inwards. From below it is bit prominent. So this is going completely flat outwards and this is curved inward. So this is allowing me, is it this one? No, this one, to fill the gap like so, like this. See, I'm not putting any pressure and it's filling the gap already. So do this. Alright, the shape of the car is coming together. This has squeezed itself in once I put these parts on, and look at that. Nice, pretty happy. Here comes the part where the marriage will happen, where the lower body and upper body will connect. So now that I'm checking if my body can attach to the base, I have realized that the base is touching the car body here, but nothing here. There's hollow space here. So what my plan is, like how I have added extra layers here, I think I'm gonna add 2 3 extra flaps here and bunch of here in the front, so I can just create L-shaped flap that can connect to body like this. So this part, this body and this, they all can connect. This is the state right now. I have added some flaps and I am constantly testing if they all align very well. Mm, yes, they do. So these I will close like so and so on, and this will be together. Always close the gutters. It's tiny space. And and there goes my last flap. Apart from these two bumps, everything is in place. Car looks symmetrical to my eyes, and I'm fine with these bumps. They are making the car, that giving it the roundness when I look at from this angle from my eye level. What I'm gonna do is, these wheels, they have this seam line, right? So I'm gonna keep the seam line up. Now I gotta make sure that the car stays standing on all four wheels. See, there's little bump, so it's fully symmetrical. There is some wobbling going on. I can't let this happen with the wheels though. I think I have the solution. What I can do is, I'll glue all four tires at the same time and I'll hold it down like this until it dries, to make sure that all the wheels are touching the ground and they are not like one of those mall trolleys where one wheel is just hanging in the air. So even if the car is not symmetrical, it will appear to be symmetrical on the display because all the four wheels are touching the ground, right? This table is slanting, so I'll take this cutting board somewhere else where it's completely flat and do it. I am back here with the car. The tires are attached, and while tires were drying, I have also attached the spoiler. There's nothing much to it, just these two pieces, then this one, and these two. All in all, the build is complete. We did not use these three pieces because we improvised, and this part, this is supposed to go at the back of the car. I decided not to use it because this angle is too sharp. I don't wanna ruin the way car is looking from back right now. So I just skipped it, and I am at the last side mirror. Once I see how much glue I'm taking, I'm gonna check if it looks symmetrical or not. See, symmetrical. We have our car ready. It is right now 4 in the morning, so I'm gonna sleep and let it dry and showcase the final video tomorrow morning. Alright, guys. So yesterday I glued all the parts, and I let it rest. And this morning I looked at it with fresh eyes and I made tiny bit of changes. Like this mudguard was coming off, so I added little glue to make sure it stays in the place, and I have added two extra tabs here because this was going outward. And remember, we did not add one piece. Like I decided not to add one extra part that comes here, so maybe because of that. But these two extra I have added, so it squeezes the body inside. And apart from it, I am happy with the build. The mirror and the spoiler is symmetrical, it's in the center. The edges have been colored all around, and I have no plans of coloring the insides of the tires. So this is the finished model for me, and I think, like, I'm reflecting on my choices right now. The choice of paper going with 250 GSM was good idea, and this shiny paper is also helping it look little interesting because it's end of the day big box. Unlike these tiny models, there are so many intricate details to look at, but with car it's mostly the paint job. In even in real life it's like that paint job adds so much to the actual car. And to replicate that, I've gone with this paper, and whenever it reflects, the white area has shimmer, and the inked area where the prints are heavy prints, they have sort of matte finish going on, so it's pretty interesting to look at. So I'm going to stop working on it. I have no intentions of adding or removing any detail whatsoever, so I'm going to keep it aside. And I will see you guys in the second part of this video, which will be uploaded right after this one. Please watch it, and I'll see you guys in the next one.